Welcome to the highly unique Morocco. With its diverse geography spanning from the Atlantic Ocean to the mountains and to the Sahara Desert, well known for its challenging terrain. Endless sand dunes, rocky mountains and powder road. With wide open tracks and astonishing landscapes, it's hard to find a more challenging rally venue. This year the race is moving from Erfoud to Merzouga, and the Panafrica Rally is ready to unfold new challenging routes on this 6-day event, navigating more than 1,400 kilometers.
We are in Merzouga for Panafrica Rally 2019. This year we moved from Erfoud to Merzouga for Panafrica Rally. Panafrica Rally is the best amateur rallies in Africa. It is one of the few that has only one bivouac that makes the logistics much easier for the competitors. This year we have 6 racing days, 1 prologue and 5 big stages, with the biggest one being 450 kilometers. Very challenging navigation, very challenging terrain, a lot of variety, a roadbook that we worked a lot to do on the past months. This year we managed to get higher level of competitors. There are 15 professional competitors that are really fast, and the race will be very interesting.
Professional and rookie participants from over 14 different nationalities arrived at the bivouac to complete the registration forms. Prior to the race, all the teams have to correctly set up their bikes, test the right settings for them, and pass the technical inspection, and of course, to note the roadbook vignettes, highlighting the most important spots of each stage. At the end of the day, the athletes had a briefing from the rally race organisation. The Panafrica Rally is considered a one-of-a-kind event. It combines every level of rider over some really demanding stages. It's a great practice for the professionals and the best school for the rookies. Amongst the experienced participants was Gerard Fares of Spain, last year's SSV category winner. In 2017, Fares finished 3rd in the Dakar Rally motorbike category.
The thing is my second year with Boogie, no? Because I go 10 years with a motorbike and then change. I don't have experience, but every year is better, no? Now I come back here after win last year. Of course I want to win, but for me this race is a good preparation for the Rally Dakar. I think that this race is perfect in the Rally Dakar. Why? Because there is a lot of navigation with the dunas, similar in the Rally Dakar. Here the navigation is more difficult because there is nodes every 200 meters, and then you need to stay focused, no, with a book, and then I need to listen my co-driver and understand the nodes, no.
The first stage is a prologue of 72 kilometers along the sand dunes. All the riders were looking forward to this, as speed will play a key role in this short distance stage. Motorcycles can attack the sand dunes directly, which is a great advantage compared to the SSV and the quad categories, who have to be more careful in order to avoid any tricky situations.
I'm racing in quad class, and the quad is a vehicle that is a bit in between the bikes and the cars. It's narrower than a car. We have to face the dunes straight ahead because if we go sideways, the quad it could tip over, and it also slips down the dune. I think maybe the bikes can go on the side of the dune, and we have to surf the dunes a little bit. We have to lean back going up the dune because we have less traction than other vehicles, but more or less I think it's a vehicle quite good for the dunes.
Today I think it's going to be a nice day for sure, with 240 kilometers more or less stage, with many kind of terrain. It's going to be a day with a lot of navigation like yesterday. I need to find a good rhythm between navigation and riding. For sure, if I'm going so fast, I can get lost, and also I cannot go so slow, so I need to find this rhythm.
With a stage of 220 kilometers on the second day and a shorter yet equally demanding 150 kilometers stage on day 3, the riders must stay focused in order to make it to the finish line every day, while also keeping up a fast pace to the very end.
Today is day 2 of Panafrica Rally. It's been a good 2 days so far. You know, the first day was the prologue, and then yesterday we spent a fair bit of time in the dunes, and today is a long stage. We have about 300 kilometers. The first part is about 150 till we get a break, and then we refuel, and then we start again. So far the rally's been really nice. I think I've really enjoyed it. It's been fast, it's been technical in some places, and the dunes have been a lot of fun.
On long stages, navigation can be more important than speed. At the bivouac, we spotted Pedro Biaggi Prata and his team. Prata is a famous rider competing in the moto division, but also supports up-and-coming riders.
In this rally, in Panafrica Rally, I'm racing, but also I have my own students. They are people that I start teaching navigation. I brought to the desert to know what is the dunes and what is rally ride. And with that, they are starting to be pilots. So they have the dream to go one time to Dakar. So we start with Panafrica, and we start with step by step. To go on front to try to win a rally, you have to be on full gas every time, and you have to fight for the win. You have to do a really good navigation. But for people that are starting the rallies or people that wants to enjoy this themselves, the navigation is the most important part in the desert rally, because you can lose 10 minutes in the navigation mistake, and then in the track you can go full gas to only take 1 minute out. So the most important is to be focused on the navigation.
After the first 3 days of racing, the athletes have already become quite familiar with the terrain, the desert temperatures and the race conditions. For newcomers to the Desert Rally, it's a challenge of surviving, adjusting to the constraints, and how to go as fast as possible.
It's a very good times to spend with my old friends, but there is another type of rally, you know. It's very hard, you don't have signs, you don't have things to spot for navigation. You must read the compass, and it's a new things for me, but it's a very good training for my next goal, yeah, like the Dakar or the Africa Eco Race, so it's fantastic for me, yeah.
With a combination of terrains and 3 special stages, on racing day 4, the competitors had to cover a total of 450 kilometers of challenging stages. With the dunes of Mazuga and Azina, the long hard chutes, and really tough navigation in extreme heat, it was the day many of the results would be decided. Riders and machines were tested to their limits, with less than half of the competitors managing to make the finish line.
Today was a very long stage, 400 Ks. We had a lot of fast tracks, a bit of sand, and also a lot of enduro. We had some parts that looks like enduro, very hard and also very hot, but at all it was very good. The motorbike competition is very close to overall times, so we will fight till the end.
Rallies are a tough test for the athletes and the machines. Both are tested to their very limit. But what about the preparation and the post-racing maintenance of a motorcycle during a rally?
We are the Hero Motorsport factory team. We prepare all the tires and the bikes, and we try to make some good setups, suspensions before we come here. We check everything what we need, oil, tires, wheels, more or less what we need, and then it's like this. Just we come a little bit earlier when we make a little check down, preparing the bikes for the next days before the race. The race like this, the most common is can happen is basically the air filter and the tires. Nothing else. If you have no crash, normally it's only this. You have any issues. Every day is the first what we do when the rider is coming. We take the feedback of the rider. We hear what the rider says, and then we work. If something to do with the suspensions or engine, we try to make something better for the next day. If it's not, we just do normal work. We change the oil, check the frames and everything, and change tires, air filters, and then it's go.
Halfway through the Pan-African Rally 2019, the riders and drivers had already faced all kinds of Morocco's varied terrains. Adjusting the suspension and tyres, but also adjusting riding style for the respective conditions, can be a game changer.
One of the good parts of the rallies is that you can change terrain very fast, and you can be from big dunes to the rocky fast piste in few kilometers. And the riding technique is really different because you can be more on the front of the bike in the piste, while you have to sit more on the back in the dunes, because the weight goes to the front, and it's easy to get stuck with the front end in the sand. Also, we have to watch the tanks, because if it's full in the front or empty in the back, it's easier on the piste, but it's difficult to ride in the sand. And in the opposite way, if it's full in the back and empty in the front, it's easier in the sand and more difficult on the piste. So we have a button, we can change from front to back, and we can decide how many liters and how much weight to take off from the both tanks.
There was increased participation of elite athletes for the Pan-African Rally 2019. Competitors from different motorsport fields attended the event in order to get in shape and test themselves in tough rally conditions. Some of them have much experience in motorsports, such as 2011 Superbike World Champion Carlos Checa, who used to compete here. Or Jesus Puras, who is racing in the World Rally Championship from 1991 to 2002, well known for his astonishing performance on tarmac rallies.
The rally cars, you always have to drive 100%. I mean, the co-driver must tell you all the notes, every corner. And it's quite different. I've done a lot of World Championship events on gravel and on asphalt, and the cars are different, totally different, suspensions, chassis, everything is different. And of course, when you come here to the rides, to the sand, to the gravel, but you know, a lot of sun everywhere, I think it changes a lot. The cars are quite different. As you see, this car is quite high. You need to be high because you need to see what's over the dunes. The co-driver must tell me the caps for navigation, which is very important. I think you cannot go 100% with the car. You must go around 80–90% because there is a lot of risk. Normally you don't know the road, so you know, you have to take it easy, and then you have to go with the rhythm quite high, but not 100%.
On the penultimate racing day, the battles were fierce amongst the motorbikes. Riders had to push hard for better positioning in the overall ranking, with the leaders trying to retain their pace after the 280-kilometre stage.
Today is the fifth stage. We're in second overall, a few seconds from the lead, so luckily I'm going to start in the back. I hope I'll play in my advantage. I'm going to start, try to catch the guys in front of me, and then just try to control the race. And especially try not to do any stupid mistake. I'm going to try to be focused and try to bring my hero to the top step of the podium.
Cerruti won the day, climbing to second place, behind the overall leader, Joaquim Rodriguez. while Francis Soudet and Team Fares from Spain extended their advantage in the quads and SSV categories respectively. On the final day, the race started early in the morning. The Panafrica Rally finished the same way it started, with a sand dune course of 50 kilometers, where for most of the riders, the goal was simply to cross the finish line. At the same time, the battle for the podium spots in the motorcycle category was well underway. The first group to cross the finish line was the motorcycle category, with a tight finish. In the end, it was Joaquim Rodriguez with a consistent performance throughout the week and over a total of 16 hours racing, who claimed the overall victory in the motorbike category. In the quad category, having created a big gap from the beginning of the competition, it was Francis Sebastian Soudet taking top spot, leaving Tony Vingat from Spain in second place.
Je suis vraiment content d'être ici. J'ai bataillé toute la semaine pour pouvoir remonter et avec la chaleur, avec moi-même. C'est un très bon entraînement pour le rallye. C'est une très belle course. Je pense qu'il y a des choses à venir qui vont être encore très belles les futures années.
Finally, in the SSV division, with their exceptional performance and dominance from day one, it was Gerard Fares and his co-driver Armand Monleon who took the victory.
So we just finished our first rally race together, and Panafrica Rally was a really cool race. And yeah, from the beginning we got really good feeling inside the car and outside also. And yeah, step by step we improve little details, and we are ready to go to Morocco and of course focused for next Dakar.
Joaquim Rodriguez from Portugal was not just the winner in the motorbikes, but also the overall Pan-Africa winner, the fastest athlete over this 6-day racing event.
Well, this race was important for me as I start my preparation for Dakar. It's been a long way since I had my accident and recovering and getting my confidence back. So this race also was important for me for that. I knew my speed is getting back, but of course you need to prove it on the terrain. So this race was really good since the beginning. I showed since the first day that my speed was there and I was fast. So I tried to get my hero to the finish line every day and doing good results, of course. And I tried to control the race, and I was really happy to be able to do that. Like push when I had to push and control the race when I had to control it. It's been a long way, but I'm really happy. Hero Motorsport has been doing a great job with developing the bike and giving the best so I can perform well.
The Pan-Africa Rally 2019 concluded with a promise for an even more exciting comeback on its next edition.
Africa!